Cody and Gunther are out, and we've got that hideous crown jewel championship on the podium, and Gunther is the one to kick things off. So, Cody, what do you want to talk about, huh? And this man was so proud of himself. The smile on this man's face that I have taken his catchphrase and I've used it myself. Cody says, why? Why do you think that you're going to leave Crown Jewel as the champion? It's like, you flew me to Brooklyn to answer that. Gunther again repeats, it was very unnecessary for you to mention your daughter. This has nothing to do with her. This is about determining who the better champion is. You always seem to drag those closest to you into your business. And you are someone, you finished your story to try and fulfill your dad's legacy. Now you want to live up to John Cena by taking on his schedule. You're trying to be people other than yourself. Me? Why do I want to win this? Myself. I'm the greatest wrestler in this company, and I will live up to myself. And he asks Cody, what is the real reason you want to win this match? And be honest. Imagine all these fans weren't here. And Cody calls that the stupidest question he's ever been asked. It's like, Cody, wait till some of these press conferences, okay? He says that if it weren't for these fans, we wouldn't even be here. You call me dramatic? Have you seen my family? My brother? Of course we're dramatic. So are the Cody crybabies. And he asks Gunther, where were you yesterday? Or the day before? I was doing the media rounds for WrestleMania, and you couldn't be bothered to get out of bed. And he says, you have the in-ring portion down, but not the responsibility of being a champion. So Gunther comes back at him. I am the workhorse champion of this company, and I know everything about responsibility. I get the same requests as you, and I just say no, because I have the guts to say I'm an independent contractor. God damn it, I don't work for you on my days off. I will turn down media requests and charities. And Cody, if you stopped being their servant, then your little story would be over. And that makes you a gutless champion and will always be secondary to me. At this point, I had written this guy down as best on the mic for our year-end awards. This guy was just on another level in this. I love this guy and his personality. I think he is just the best heel champion that this company has had in forever.
I agree, and I'm only hesitant, and I'm waiting in my head to see if I fully agree with that statement because of Roman Reigns. So by saying that statement,
I've never heard Roman deliver a promo like this.
So, but what is a heel? What is a great heel champion? You know, are we attributing that? Are we measuring that by how much money and how much business that they're doing, or just skills in various departments?
If you want to look at like just the swagger, the positioning yourself as the cocky prick that you want this babyface to just knock off, I just think Gunther is fantastic in this role. Like, to me, this segment right here, for all I want to say about this stupid championship they're fighting over, this gave you a clear rooting interest in seeing Cody beat this guy.
So I will say, like, I want to go back to that because I think you're making a big statement. You're saying that Gunther is a better heel than Roman Reigns.
I feel that this championship run is I'm very entertained by this version of Gunther as this unstoppable champion that to me could be built up to the guy that knocks this guy off could be such a big moment.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think I feel confident enough to say I think Gunther is a better promo than Roman Reigns. I don't think I've ever heard Roman Reigns cut a promo.
I
of this
completely
nature.
agree. Completely
Now,
agree.
there are other things that you simply can't measure, about a Roman Reigns that Gunther has not achieved yet. We're talking about presence and just kind of like star power and history. That these are the reasons why Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. But when we're just kind of measuring skill, certainly in ring, now maybe even as a promo, I definitely think when we're just talking about skill, yeah, Gunther is up there, maybe the best.
So Cody says, "You call yourself a ring general? Well, I don't see a general because you lead no one but yourself. And your career has been built on guts. And guts is ending this discussion while taking the first shot." And he attacks Gunther. Ludwig Kaiser jumps in and they start double teaming him. And then out comes Randy to clear the ring. And once again, Randy is left holding the championship belt, passes it to Cody, and right at the end, you can see him. He eyes that title right as he's looking down at it again, like very, very subtle, but awesome segment. This was the best segment on the show.
Great set of professional wrestling promos. Okay, this is what a face-to-face should be. This is what a talking segment should be right before a big championship match. So we know next week, because this is taped, they are doing a tag team match between Orton and Cody versus the Imperium. So they're not going to have a big talking segment. This was your go-home big talking segment, and boy, did it feel that way. I thought both of them gave us like a really wonderful philosophical debate about like what it means to be a champion, points, counterpoints, all rising in intensity appropriate for this stage of the feud. Gunther, I guess he's the type of champion that is more focused on the wrestling and says fuck it to all the other kind of like star making bullshit things. He's a bit of a purist, and I love this sort of framing of this championship as the purist championship. I mean, it's kind of what they were trying to establish with Seth, but you kind of even have a more fitting version of like the workhorse champion in Gunther, especially in opposition to Cody, who is very much flash. I mean, it works really well, like this sort of contrast. He just continues to impress me so much by how complete he is as a wrestler. Gunther, amazing in-ring skills. Now he has mic skills that are matching that. So just a top guy. I think what makes Gunther so interesting is that he's not just like a monster in ring. He's not just a brainless monster. Like, he's not a Braun Strowman type. He's Thanos. He's the kingpin. He's a guy who's as smart as he is physically dominant. And man, I thought he did a great job of explaining why he turns down like commitments. He's saying like the reason like me turning down charity is my strength. Like what great
Amazing.
Logic. Like, yeah,
Why am I going to wear myself down like you are doing this schedule when that's a disadvantage for you, not a sign of strength?
He's framing Cody's willingness to do charity work as a part of his insecurity for why he needs the adulation of the public. And that is so sick that it's just so awesome, so awesome that like I could almost really cheer for Gunther. But whatever, like you want people who you can kind of understand, like a Thanos. Like, I don't necessarily agree with the methodology, but I could see where he's coming from. And Gunther is giving us that sort of logic. Cody as well, I thought was interesting in this segment, and like we got a more sort of emotional Cody than you typically do. He's the first one to deliver a strike. Typically Cody is the type of babyface who's very controlled in his voice, is not necessarily the first one to like raise his voice. That wasn't the case here. But the other interesting aspect of all of this is, of course, Randy Orton and the very sort of long-term building of that particular Cody versus Orton feud that they seem to be doing already.
One other thing I really liked about the back and forth, if you remember a few years ago for one of the stand and delivers over Mania weekend, they were building up to, it was Braun Breaker as the babyface defending his championship against Dolph Ziggler. And in the lead up to that, they did this segment on NXT that Dolph Ziggler, as the heel, is stating, I've got to do all the extra media because no one's interested in speaking to Braun Breaker. And it's kind of like it's calling out loud the fact that like you are the bigger star, and just kind of like making Braun Breaker feel like very insignificant as this NXT champion. It was a little thing. And in this one, you could have gone the exact same route of saying, I was the one doing all the media rounds because no one wants to speak to you. But they made it very clear it is your choice that you have all of these requests and opt not to do them, rather than diminishing him as a star by stating that no one is interested in talking to you. They want to talk to me, which they have done in the past and could have easily just gone with that. And it diminishes him for just a cheap pop in the moment.
So really, like, I think every talking segment these two have had have been excellent. And again, they've each kind of escalated in intensity up until this one, where you finally got some physicality. So all in all, like, even before the match, I would say this whole like champion versus champion thing that I think a lot of people, ourselves included, might have been negative on when they announced it. It's proving to be like a really pretty nicely told story up until this point, in my opinion. If you like this video, consider joining our Patreon, the Post Wrestling Cafe. Multiple bonus podcasts every week, ad-free shows, and access to our full archive. Otherwise, a like and subscribe is much appreciated. Thank you for watching.